Falsehoods Junior Developers believe about becoming senior. These are mostly my thoughts about what I was expecting as a junior and how I perceived senior developers. To be honest, I was romanticizing them quite a bit. Senior developers were the people who could solve all the problems, constantly told me what to do, and knew all the answers. It's easy to fall prey to the fantasy that climbing the ranks will somehow bestow upon us a magical cloak of knowledge, authority, and ease. That magical cloak does exist though, even though it may not be found higher up the ranks where you work. I remember this one time before I was proficient in using the terminal, I had some issues with my Linux distribution, something was not mounted properly or some file permission errors, and I couldn't figure it out on my own, so I asked one of the senior devs for help. The grace and elegance of how they navigated Vim and jumped around with shortcuts was inspiring. It stayed in my memory forever. I also aspired to be like them, fast, efficient, know-it-all coding gurus. The reality is much more grounded and in its way more rewarding. And then we have this meme. So where are we going? We're following you. Oh. See, I don't like this. I don't like this meme. Because, well, okay. Maybe it's that senior is supposed to mean better developer because they're supposed to have learned something. And so I guess in that sense, the meme may make sense in certain circumstances. The truth is that advancing your career is less about learning the terminal and more about embracing a new set of complex, nuanced responsibilities. Wow, are we about to get a Jordan Peterson take on this article? Yes, you will get proficient in using the terminal, but you will also in general get better at solving simple problems, but those are not the problems you will be dealing with. To put it simply, the complexity of issues will grow with your skill. Okay, we haven't said much yet. Before we start, this essay is not meant to discourage you, but to prepare you for the reality ahead. Senior developers are not all-knowing 10x coders who can make unicorns out of thin air. So let's go through some falsehoods that junior believe about senior developers. Interesting. I may end up agreeing with this article. Having all the answers, expectation. I will be able to solve all the bugs and know what's wrong in a matter of minutes. Reality. The more I learn, the more I realize how little I know. Let's figure this out together. What? How is together? I mean, maybe that helps you if you're together with the customer who has the bug. But the belief that reaching a senior level means having all the answers is not just a misconception, is a misrepresentation of what it truly means to grow and succeed in the tech industry. So many new algorithms. Oh my god. When I learn new algorithms, I really grow as a person. Where new technologies, the word technologies again, they're not technologies. And new frameworks are being released daily. Wow. Saying that you, a senior, have all the answers is destructive to your growth. That is absolutely true. So I agree with that. Your expertise isn't measured by the knowledge you possess, but your ability to work with uncertainty, ask the right questions to get where you need to be in terms of understanding, knowing how to find the solution once you have the understanding. True. I mean, he said technologies, and then he delivered truth afterwards. So, this is good. It's fine to say I don't know or I did not understand that completely. Let's discuss this in more depth. Technology is a vast... Computers are a vast, ever-expanding universe because of our failures, but whatever. Technology is a vast, expanding universe. I guess, is that maybe my problem? Is these people say, when they say technology, they mean computers? Your job is to solve problems, not to be a know-it-all. As a senior, you're more of an amateur guide who knows how to get from point A to point B rather than an all-knowing guru who has memorized all the world's capitals. Absolutely true. You know? To concretize that, I mean, you also should be building just skill about knowing things. That's how you actually become better at solving the problems or figuring stuff out. But say the people I know who are really good developers can go from, oh, there's this bug to, oh, there's this bug in this interaction with this OS API or this lib driver thing, and then they're able to drill down and figure out what the issue is, which is very impressive. So, working with latest tech, bro. As a senior, I'll get to play with the latest tech and build amazing projects. Reality, this legacy code isn't going anywhere, and neither am I. Let's fix some bug that happens once every full moon. This gets on my nerves. Because when you say latest tech, it sounds like you want to work at Boston Dynamics. Many junior developers dream of working exclusively with the latest frameworks and tools. However, a senior developer's role often involves maintaining and improving legacy systems. These systems carry the weight of years of business logic, customer data, and operational insights. As a senior developer, you'll find that a significant part of your role involves understanding these systems, figuring out why they're breaking, and optimizing them to meet current and future demands, while also making sure not to break anything yourself. I mean, that's true. As a person who delivers economic value, often the economic value is in the form of you updating things that exist, because that's the they don't need your new crazy thing. Actually, paying customers need the existing solution to keep working. Yes, it's not as fun as it sounds, but that's the reality. Most of the software nowadays are legacy applications that require refactoring. No, but sure. I mean, rewriting, yes. Refactoring. That's, you know, you're not doing any work when you exclusively say refactoring. Which won't be approved anytime soon, so you'll have to patch it up and work with what you have. No more boring tasks. Being a senior means I can avoid all the boring tasks. Reality, endless meetings, documentation, and code reviews. Oh, did I mention debugging legacy systems on Friday at 6 p.m.? The debugging is real. Endless meetings doesn't have to be real. Just don't have meetings. Get more work done. Documentation is important. If you have decided that it is worth it, the investment in this moment, and just don't review code. Just have the people that are reviewing the code be the ones writing the code. Then you don't need to review, and then everybody's more productive. But he's absolutely true that, like, I mean, the boring tasks don't end. For me personally, I mean, so for context, you know, I'm making this full operating system and rewriting like all the stuff on top from scratch, so you can have a computer with all the source code and you understand everything, and it's relatively simple. The reason I can do this, the reason I can say make a compiler, is because I train myself more every day in the just doing the boring work. For example, in this release, most recent release on, I made this window manager completely from scratch on the system. Okay, there are lots of things with this where it's initially exciting, or like something is exciting, but being a shipper means actually showing up whether or not it is exciting. Most of the time it's not exciting. Most of the time you're doing what's required to ship a high quality thing at the door. And your ability to just do the work regardless of how exciting it is definitely something you do more of. Maybe to a noob, to a junior person, maybe that looks like there are no boring tasks because you just get on with the work. that could be how that works. Meetings are code reviews. But once you reach the senior level, you will have a love-hate relationship with them. On the one hand, you will be annoyed that there's little documentation. On the other hand, you will be sure the product is maintainable even after 5 years. Meetings will annoy you because they take so much time, but they make you happy because everyone is aligned and doing what's needed. I mean, yeah, if that's what's required to be for everybody to be aligned, then I guess the meeting was necessary. Although you could probably still structure things to have less meetings. And obviously that's relative. I know some people I hear have a crazy amount of meetings, whilst others have a very meeting-free culture, which is good. Because then you get work done. You can't get work done if your schedule is like spliced up by meetings. Code reviews will annoy you because people will try to merge weird things that you need to improve, but you'll be happy that your team is getting better based on your feedback. I mean, yeah, but also I would argue that if you're spending, so if you hire the expensive senior who costs a lot of money, and then their time is going towards educating your junior people, basically through code reviews. There's a lot faster ways to educate people into being better programmers than having you code review them. But also, I mean, there's a question if that even makes economic sense. Like, wouldn't the money be better spent on you just hire good people who already have some level of quality, and then they just do good work, and you don't need code reviews? I've never heard, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me actually if this existed, but I don't think game studios ever have code reviews. I've never heard of a game studio that has the like, oh, you like pull request, and then you code review the pull request in a game studio. And game studios will have game studios with lots of junior people, and I believe they just do mediocre work that then has to be fixed later. But I bet they learn actually way faster than doing code reviews. So embracing the full spectrum of your role, including the boring parts, you'll find that this can become the most fulfilling part of your work, filled with opportunities for impact and growth. Yeah, we love that. Impact and growth. Expectation has a million ideas on how to change this company in 180 degrees. Let's improve everything. Reality knows that nothing will change without management approval and the necessary budget. It's a common sentiment among junior developers to look at the systems, processes, and technologies around them and see endless opportunities for improvement. I was like that as well. I remember joining a company, taking a look at how they do things, thinking I knew better, and starting shooting suggestions left and right. When you're young, you're a hammer and everything looks like a nail. This zeal is not only admirable, but necessary for the evolution and growth of our industry. This way you get to make tons of mistakes, and that will make you understand that not everything is a nail, and a hammer is not the only tool that you should have. Learning to communicate the value of your ideas that resonate with relevant stakeholders. Figure out how the budget is allocated. Take part in resource planning. The bigger the project, the harder it will be to jump through all the hoops, but well worth it. As you grow in your expertise, you'll see that bringing change requires time. Building a case for your idea that resonates not just on a technical level, but also aligns with organizational goals, budgetary limitation, and risk management. Oh, we've become a hedge fund suddenly. Risk management. Building things is just fun. Building things that bring benefit to the company is fun and rewarding. Yeah, I'd say that's true. Although probably in the most functional organization, you never need to gather support for some idea, because you're not in a bureaucracy where many people have to sign off on something. Ideally, you're in a command hierarchy where you, as somebody in the chain, can just make decisions on things within your authority in order to get the job done. Now, I actually don't know if most software companies have developers at the bottom, and then it becomes sort of management. And I guess manage. That's probably a thing you do when you have technical management. If your managers and your manager chain are technical people, they're participating in a way with technical design. Well, then they can make decisions and have authority. But I don't know. I guess it depends on the organization you're in. And, to some extent you can choose where you work, and in another sense you kind of have to adapt to the place you're in, because you can't always, beggars can't be choosers, even though beggars often want to be choosers. So you have to adapt to the place you're working, I guess. Time to relax. Expectation. Once I become a senior, I will have more time to relax. Reality. It's fine. I'll finish the work on Saturday. Yeah. Or I'll make sure to have a perfect work-life balance once I'm a senior. Reality. Balancing deadlines, mentoring, and personal life is like juggling knives. Occasionally, one does get dropped. Yeah. I mean, if you want work-life balance, don't get promoted. Or maybe seniors are like the old people again, not the people who are like superior in rank. The workload doesn't necessarily decrease, it evolves. You might find yourself dedicating weekends, wrapping up projects, tackling unexpected issues. Your responsibilities extend beyond coding and technical mentoring, strategic planning, and after greater involvement in operational aspects of projects. You become more accountable and receive a higher salary for your commitment. Okay, so this is rank, not just age. If you're committed, junior developers don't really care if their task is blocking 10 other people and project delivery. But you do. These responsibilities mean that your work can extend into the evenings or weekends, especially when deadlines loom. Yes. I'm pro crunch if it means you get the work done before deadline. And then hopefully next time you can give yourself more time so you don't have to crunch. But sometimes we have to do the work that's required. That's very laudable. The expectation of having more time to relax as a senior is in many ways a misunderstanding of the nature of senior roles. While you do gain more autonomy over your schedule, in terms of projects you work on, this autonomy comes with a responsibility to manage and deliver on multiple fronts, often requiring a juggling act between professional obligations and personal life. Yes. True. I encourage you to develop strategies that support a sustainable balance between work and life. But what if work is my life? Then you don't have a problem. You don't need to balance work and versus life. If work is your life, then you just push the like airplane throttle forward, go all in. This might involve honing your time management skills or learning to delegate more effectively. You don't need time management, you just need to work faster. Then you don't need to manage your time because you got the stuff done. Learning to delegate is a valuable thing. But that's also learning when not to delegate, because you could not delegate. Or you could delegate something to the wrong person and it doesn't go well. Deciding what to do. Expectation. Once I become a senior, I will lead big projects and have big impact. And tell others what to do. Oh yeah. The best part. I miss the times I miss the times when people told me what to do. This feels like it's written by somebody who isn't isn't what would you call it? Isn't the person meant for that kind of role, but there's a particular expectation I'd like to address today, that the notion of rising to a senior position means that you'll no longer be involved in hands-on work, focus on instead solely on giving out tasks to other people, mentoring juniors, or focusing purely on architecting. While it's true that senior roles involve a significant amount of meta work, there's still lots of hands-on stuff you'd fix. Well, but there's also the fact of leadership, okay? You want to be, like, if you're going to be leading the army of wages, okay, they're a lot more prone to listening to what you have to say if you're also doing the same thing as them, and also if you're really, really good at waging, then they're inclined to listen to you because they can look up to you. If you're just somebody who says stuff that seems disconnected from reality, or they never see you do real work, then why would they follow you? You know? Creating diagrams. To the more senior you become, the less people will tell you what to do, and the more they expect you to know what needs to be done. Yes, this is correct. You go from dealing with tasks like implement quicksort instead of merge sort in function XYZ to the management has decided to integrate AI into the HR department. How can we make it happen? Both of these require hands-on work, but on a different level. It's the more high skilled an employee is, the more general the instructions can be. The most high you could conceive of an extremely high level person who's very skilled, so you can tell them an instruction like build me a basketball apparel business, and they could do that for you. They could come back 4 months later and they could say, here, I did it, now what's your next instruction? But if you take like a child, or say if you took a teenager and said build me a basketball apparel business, well, it's either some of them might be able to do it, but it'll take them way longer because they have to do all this learning. But in theory, I mean, the teenager can do the same stuff. The instructions just have to be more basic. You know, if you had to teach a child to do this, you have to start with, this is a computer, press the button to turn it on. Open this thing, it's called a browser. Go to facebook.com. Here are ads we can run. Oh, this is a phone. Use it to contact the Chinese apparel supplier. Oh, we use Google to find out about these contacts, etc. So similarly here, what he's describing is you have the freshy noob who's being instructed to go edit this function and change to this sort algorithm. And then the high level, the higher skill the employee, the more general commands you can give them, and they can execute those successfully. So that's true, although not very well. I mean, it's a decent explanation for the article, I guess, but the principle generalizes, and it's worth understanding. With great power comes great responsibility and anxiety, I guess. Leading big projects means facing the pressure of making the right decisions and the fear of failure. It's a rewarding challenge, but it can also be a daunting one. Eventually, you'll miss the days of focusing solely on coding tasks without the added responsibility of figuring out the big picture transaction. Becoming irreplaceable. Once I become a senior, they won't be able to lay me off. Reality, I hope I won't be laid off. It's a comforting thought to believe that seniority equates to job security. However, the reality of our industry known for its rapid evolution and fluctuating market demands, tells a different story. You might be thinking, I'm the only one who knows how to fix this legacy system. They wouldn't dare let me go. And then they close down the whole project entirely, making your role redundant. While senior roles do come with a degree of stability thanks to experience, yeah, of course you can get laid off. Companies that face various pressures, economic downturns, shifting strategy, mergers, acquisitions, all of which can lead to restructuring and unfortunately layoffs that affect employees at all levels. Drastic times call for drastic measures, aka investors are expecting higher margins. Yeah. I think the tech industry is one of the few industries where keeping up with the latest development is a must. I don't mean learning every new framework, but at least keeping up with what's on the market. Embracing the mindset of lifelong learner and staying adaptable safeguards your career from unseen circumstances. Being the one in the company who knows some obscure framework that was used 10 years ago does not give you a competitive edge during hiring. Yes. And especially, I would strengthen that with, you're not valuable because you know some arbitrary trivia. You're valuable because of the general skills you have. You're valuable because of this being able to take instructions that are more and more general and executing well. Anyway, that's the end of the article. He has a video version here, which I guess we can go watch, but we're not going to. Yeah, if you want to follow my stuff, you can go look here at samhsmith.com/Serenum. Maybe of interest to you. And other than that, I wish you a very pleasant evening, and I will see you in the next video.